Hi guys, welcome back. Last time we talked about the why of why we would fight in an active shooter or violent confrontation. Today we're going to talk about the how. On this channel we talk about many ways that you can keep yourself safe. We deal with personal security as well as mental and physical fitness and self-protection issues. So please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Click that top secret icon in the lower right hand corner of your screen. And don't forget to hit the bell so that you're notified every time a new video is posted. I also want to remind you that I have this publication. It's available on Amazon, relatively inexpensive, and it's full of different facts as well as tips on what to expect and how to deal with an active shooter or violent crime incident that happens to you. So today we talk about how, and what I mean by how is we obviously know the reason why we would fight. We would fight because we have no other option, or because we're here to protect ourselves and our family members. How you would fight? Well, obviously it's going to involve talking about improvised weapons, using your surroundings. Fighting isn't necessarily just coming right out and getting right up in front of the line of fire and stand there until the guy gets to you, or you go running at him and expect not to be shot. Obviously you are going to use subtlety, you are going to use the element of surprise if you can, you are going to use cover and concealment, and you're going to hide as a temporary position until you can either get him closer or you can get closer to him. So to fight in a terrorist event, in an active shooter event, in a violent criminal encounter, you have to use the things that are available in your environment if you do not, for example, carry a firearm. In many places, firearm carry, conceal, or open carry even is not allowed or illegal. Many places around the world you're going to find that. Obviously, if you travel a lot, if you find yourself in a city or state that is not freedom-loving, and you cannot exercise your right to keep and bear arms because the government is infringing upon you instead of you infringing upon it, well then you have to look for alternate weapons to protect yourself. One thing that you can do is carry a knife or discreet stabbing tool like a tactical pen. I covered that in a video about weapons alternatives to concealed carry. You can see that video right here. But let's just say you are in an office. There's plenty of things in an office that you can use. You can use cords to tie the person up after you've subdued them. You can use a cord as a garrote if you come up behind them and pull it around their neck. You can use pens and pencils and any sharp object as a stabbing device. You can also use fire extinguishers or any heavy objects that you can wield to use as a type of bludgeon or club to take the guy out. Remember that the use of weapons and improvised weapons, those are only tools to actually magnify the force that you can use against somebody. You should have at least an elementary knowledge of where and how to hit people to try to take them out. Know targets, and a preliminary combatives course like Muay Thai or MMA or even Krav Maga, that type of thing, would go a long way to helping you if you could learn some basic targets and how to strike them. So the key with improvised weapons is you're using your environment and even things that you can scavenge out of your environment. Even building materials, for example, things that are part of a structure that you can break off or rip apart and use as a club or other type of instrument to stop an active shooter or violent encounter. So on top of improvised weapons that you are carrying or improvised weapons that you may utilize from your environment, you can also strategize. Strategy is a key component to this. If you can use teamwork, that would be the most efficient use, where someone jumps on the guy and controls his arms or his weapon, while another jumps on his feet to control his legs, and another jumps on his head to control his head, and you subdue him on the ground that way. But using strategy, standing in a place of hopefully cover that keeps you from getting shot, as well as hides yourself so that until the guy is close enough where you can engage him without being affected by the firearm, as well as hiding in a dark room or in a dark area. The hundreds of decisions that you make leading up to the event will be pivotal in determining what you do during the event. If you allow yourself to get out of shape, if you allow yourself to be overweight, if your diet is poor, if you do not exercise and keep yourself in shape and in fit, if you are not learning the skills it takes to be able to protect yourself, if you aren't practicing observation and situational awareness, as well as observing the things round about you that you could possibly use as a weapon, these things will come back to haunt you when an event like this takes place and you find yourself in one. So, just as a side note, I wanted to encourage you to start today to learn as much as you can about how to protect yourself, learn how to use weapons, learn how to be observant of your situation, as well as observant of your surroundings with regard to using improvised weapons. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, share the whole series with your friends. The difference between a victim and a survivor of an active shooter event is the actions of the survivor during an active shooter event.